What's up, everybody? Malik Atala here, and this is my next episode in my Charles Manson series. We're going to be talking about Charles Tex Watson in this episode. I want to wish everybody happy holidays. I know I've been gone for a while, but let's get into it. Charles Manson met Tex Watson at Dennis Wilson's house in Malibu, and they were first smoking hashish together. Charles Manson had a very cunning way of singing, smiling, that just attracted Watson and captivated him. He wanted more of what Manson had, which was charm and feeling accepted. The same draw in which the girls were sucked into. Charlie was a con man. He conned people all of his life. He had to survive. He found a chord in young people, and Charlie, and he told people what they wanted to hear about themselves. Charlie gets out of prison with a very high libido and sees that free love and orgiastic sex is now the accepted thing, and he went for it. And his relationship with these women was what it was about. It was a group marriage he had going on. With his women, he talked about their father and the damage their father had done to them, so he kind of sucked them in. Tex Watson was from Copeville, Texas. He was a football, track star, and athlete. He came from a strong family background. His uncle and other members were in the police force. He was the youngest of 3 children. He had a religious background that his family pushed on him originally, attending the Copeville Methodist Church. In high school, he was a star athlete and editor for the school paper. He went to a university and became part of a fraternity. He was bored and needed to get away from his regular school life at this time. He became interested in going to Los Angeles and wanted to find another lifestyle he found fulfilling. In 1967, he would leave Texas and head to Los Angeles. Like many in the 60s, Charles Watson was lured by a West Coast dream of free love and wild parties. While driving down a Southern California freeway, he met a hitchhiker whose name was Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys. He went back to his house, and there he met Charles Manson. He saw Manson as a carefree guy whose girls would obey his every command. He attended Hollywood parties, Manson, with very influential people in the music industry, like Terry Melcher, who was the son of Doris Day. Manson was a con and was educated on the street and in prison from the very best. He learned how to con at a very early age. This new kind of love Tex Watson found over time, he was willing to do anything for it, including lay down his own life and take the lives of other people. Tex started following Manson and doing family jobs around the ranch for the group. He was scruffy and gruff. He got in with some fast girls. He came into town one day, and Charles Manson got his pickup truck, so he let Tex stay around the ranch. He was gathering his own thoughts and finding strength in other people. He was sort of a happy-go-lucky guy. And he was also a drug dealer as well. So he gets involved with a black gangster called Bernard Crow, and he gives Watson $1,500 for some pot, marijuana. Tex never delivers his product, and Crow gets mad. He calls the ranch one day, and Manson picks up the phone. Crow says, "Where's my money, son of a bitch? I'll come up to that ranch and burn your land and kill everyone." So Manson is stuck with Tex's problem because Tex is too much of a coward and he can't deal with the drug deal problem. He said, they'll kill me, I'm scared." So Tex left, and Manson had to deal with his problem. Tex left a girl with Crow, and they were holding her captive. They called and said, "We'll cut off her head if we don't get our money back." The woman hostage asked for Tex to come and save her because she was Tex's fiance. She said to get Charlie on the phone. So TJ gets Manson instead because Tex and Manson are both named Charlie. TJ and Manson went over to where Bernard Crow was. They had the chick tied up on the bed, and they got her out of there. Charlie went down on his knees with the gun, put it in his hands, and gave the gun to the guy and said, "If you have to take a life, take mine." But they wouldn't listen. So Charlie took the gun and blew the chest open of Bernard Crow with a .22 caliber revolver to get the lady back. Crow didn't die, but he ended up in the hospital. When Manson came back to the ranch, he confronted Tex and said, "See, you got me in trouble. Every time I stand up for you, brother, I'm facing your life and your death. I'm tired of carrying you on my back." Manson said, "Now you owe me one, Tex. You owe me." Back at the ranch, things started to begin to take a turn. There was paranoia at the ranch because Charlie thought Crow was a part of the Black Panthers and they were going to get attacked by them for shooting Crow. They were expecting payback. They started having guards at the ranch and people looking out for trouble. Manson manipulated that feeling of threat in his followers' minds so well. He said everyone had to be aware at all times. They would stay up at night on acid while thinking about fighting and protecting themselves. It started to be like a camp, and Charlie was the commander. Everybody knew you had to do what Charlie told you exactly when he told you to. They were expecting retribution from the Panthers, but it never came. Charlie also tried to entice the Straight Satan's group to join up with them, offering his women as payback. He supposedly told them to start shooting black people to incite a race war, to protect the family and go to war with them, but they never did. They didn't join up with Manson, the Straight Satans. But the atmosphere at the ranch was tense. Charlie started testing people's loyalty, asking questions like, "I want your will, and do you believe in what I say?" Remember, some of his followers thought he was Jesus Christ. He was the leader. One time he took Tex Watson and stuck a knife in his ribcage and asked Tex, "Will you die for me?" And he was ready to, if Manson pushed the knife right in his body. Tex had reached a completely hopeless stage, and Manson was preaching that the world was going to come to an end and revolution was at hand. It was at stake. This was what Charlie believed. This is what his followers also believed. Over time, Charlie got their will, and he started preaching an Armageddon gospel called Helter, Skelter. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe, and favorite. I'll see you guys next time.